Okay, all right. So just for everyone's knowledge, we are recording this session so that we can use it later for the advantage of everyone, because we plan to then edit it a bit and then put it on social platform for everyone's advantage who could not be a part of this wonderful session today. Okay. Okay, so I'm Meeta, and I work in project management at Apptware. And this is the first ever event of Apptware we are hosting and organizing on such a large scale. And we are glad and we are happy and we are honored that all of you chose a better part of your evening to be with us. So, a very, very warm welcome to each one of you. We have a large of our participants from our own Apptware family here. Some of them could not join because of the earlier client commitments and stuff like that. But we have few of our Apptware employees, and we have also a lot of people from general audience, our friends, our family, the people we care and love about. And they have graciously agreed to be a part of this event. Coming back to our speakers, we have such wonderful panel of speakers, and we have been telling about them a lot through our social posts. So welcome Neha, welcome Samina, and welcome Reena. And we are glad that I didn't have to chase you guys, and you readily agreed to be a part of this wonderful session. And thank you so much for your time and your inclination, rather, to be a part of such an event and give your inputs and inspire all of us who are able to take this with us today. Okay. Coming back to a little bit about International Women's Day, everyone is aware that it's celebrated across the globe every year on this day, which is March 8th. And this day is basically celebrated to commemorate the achievements of women, raise awareness against gender bias, and take action for equality. The objective of this day is to not just honor women in general on this special day, but also to create a better gender neutral society by generating this discourse, And everyone is aware that on this day, a lot of seminars are being conducted around the world. Various events are being conducted around the world, and this is Apptware's very small part that we kind of emphasize to create some difference in everybody's life by inviting these wonderful achievers and sharing their stories with you all today and with all of us today, so that it creates some kind of positive impact on our lives, and we are able to create a better community as a whole, not just for women but whole and in general. And I'm glad that a lot of our participants today are men from different sectors, from different age groups, and from different verticals in their career. And I'm glad that we are able to create that kind of awareness where even men feel empowered to be a part of such an event today, and it's just not the women, right? So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here, Samina, Reena, and Neha. And we are going to talk a lot about your achievements so far, your stories so far, and what have helped you to be where you are today. And stay tuned, everyone. I'm not sure if you all had a chance to look at the agenda, but the program starts at 4 and we plan to close it by 5:30, covering different segments. We'll start with the opening remarks, which I'm just currently doing. And then we'll start with guest introductions and little lightning talks with the panel. We'll move on to panel discussions where we will throw questions at these wonderful women and see and get to learn their journeys so far and share their thoughts. Then we're going to move on to question answer session with the general participants here, followed by the closing ceremony. So that's going to be the flow of the event for the evening. And so let's begin. I'm going to start with the introductions first so that everyone is aware about the speakers for the day. I'll start with Neha. Neha is the Global Innovation Head for a large European client at Capgemini and one of the youngest management leaders in the company. A gold medalist from ICT Mumbai, holding an MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, she has worked in innovation and business development roles for the last 5 years. Neha has published papers presented at national and international conferences, represented her organization in the largest global automotive industry forum, and written for her company's thought leadership publications. She has also been featured in Capgemini's annual client report, expert interview series on YouTube, and Women of Wonder ebook for her contributions. Neha blogs on business topics and is a voracious reader of both fiction and non-fiction, owing to a vast personal library of more than 500 books. She has won national level awards for debate and public speaking throughout her school and college. And Neha enjoys supporting nonprofits as a teacher and digital inclusion and employability coach. She stays in Mumbai with her family. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Neha Arolkar.
Thank you. Thanks,
Okay.
Neeta. Thanks.
You're welcome. Let's move on to our next speaker, Samina. Samina Cooper is a senior manager at Accenture. She leads an intelligent delivery operation for one of the luxury car manufacturers. In her 18 years of experience, she has contributed to various industries, sales, customer service, collections, banking, and has digitally transformed automotive after-sale services at Accenture. She has done masters in marketing and she's a certified life coach and an image consultant. She's a strong advocate of inclusion and diversity and strongly believes in nurturing women talent. She's a proud mother of 9-year-old daughter Zoya, and she loves gardening and designing outfits. Her purpose and passion is to keep exploring new concepts and technology to add value to their clients, customers, and people. She always stays focused on self-development and contribute to the ecosystem. Welcome, Samina. I'm glad you chose to be a part of this event. So we extend a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will only clap since. All right, let's move on to Reena Fernandez. Reena comes with an experience across leadership and operational strategy based on over 20 years of experience, which includes delivery on AI-powered care through collaboration across operations, consulting, solution, artificial intelligence, and analytics. Customer service expertise across channels of digital engagement, customer facing, voice, chat, email, and back office, you name it, and she's done it. So some of the industries that Reena has worked across are network, telecom, supply chain, banking, media, airline, and retail. So Reena's profile includes artificial intelligence powered care, augmented intelligence and digital engagement, speech analytics, customer service, business and client delivery, business financials, operational intelligence, relationship building and expansion and growth. Outside of her professional career, Reena is passionate about traveling, exploring new places, meeting people from different cultures, trying different cuisines, and making friends along the way. She enjoys adventurous sports, reading, and sketching. So, a very warm welcome to Reena as well. And thank you, Reena, for being a part of this wonderful event today. And we look forward to learning more from you.
Pleasure. Hi.
All right. Yeah. Oh, you're looking very good, Reena. It gives me a nice feeling looking at you, by the way. All right. Okay, so welcome, ladies. And what do I say about you? I mean, you have such incredible journey so far. And I'd like to know from you all what you think about your journey so far. You know, let's start with Reena. Since she's on unmuted herself. So what is it that keeps you motivated, Reena? What is it that has, helped you to be where you are today?
So one thing when the first thing you said is how has your journey been? I think life's journey is been an adventure. It is always exciting. It is always the unknown that is unraveling in front of you. It's had its ups and downs, and I think what I would describe is that it's about your own determination and grit that takes you to where you want to be. So while a lot of us definitely want certain things like your education, your background, the kind of people that can help you along the way. I think what is defining is the fact that how much do you want to do it and whether you are willing to go that extra mile to achieve it.
Correct. I totally agree with you. What do you have to say about this, Samina? Do you have different thoughts on this?
So completely aligned, definitely this journey which you right now called out for each one of us. It has its ups and downs. There were learnings, coachings, failures, success. There was lots more added to what we are today. But one thing kept me going is my passion towards always learning new technology and contributing to the ecosystem. That has kept me on the toes. And till today, as we speak, I keep on, just enroll myself in artificial intelligence course because of the fact is that I'm leading multiple projects which are related to artificial intelligence, and I want to understand in depth about it. So while I am leading those projects, but I need to understand a little bit more about it, right? So that kind of enthusiasm and the passion to learn about new technology is actually keeping me in the game. Otherwise, probably I would have been a history.
Makes sense, totally. So my next question is for Neha basically, and since she's Capgemini's one of youngest leader, and Capgemini itself is a huge organization. Neha, what was it an easy journey for you? I mean, achieving so much where you are today, you are holding one of the very important portfolio in your role. And you're very young as a professional, so has that been easy for you, because you have very nice very impressive educational background as well? So did that help you to be where you are today, or what is it that you felt needed to be done, or you have done it right to be where you are today?
Right. So, like you said, Meeta, of course, the educational credentials is definitely a big boost. But I think over and above that, that's not been the only thing that has helped me to be where I am as a young professional in a global leadership position today. So, I would like to draw your attention to the theme of this year, which is break the bias. And I believe in my own career, I broke the bias fairly soon by being the only female on the production factory floor, not only during my engineering internship, but also during my first job. And it didn't stop there. When I did my MBA, during the internship of MBA, I was the only woman from around 10 to 15 interns to be given a completely outdoor field sales role, where I had to go to all sorts of places and interact with people from very different walks of life. And in
Okay.
each case, I was outside of my comfort zone. But I think that is what propelled me to do really high quality work and deliver great results that earned me the rewards and appreciation from top management in each case. So we do hear a lot about women breaking glass ceilings and barriers and so on and so forth. But I think until, at least in my case, until I experienced getting outside of my comfort zone for myself, I couldn't really imagine being so successful outside of the areas that I'm comfortable in. And all these experiences have shaped me into who I am today, and they keep motivating me to aim for higher and higher goals.
Totally. I totally agree with you. And since you mentioned about the industry that you're working for, an automotive industry, which is highly men-dominated industry as we see it from outside perspective, what has changed over last 5 years in this industry? And since you have started your journey here, I'm sure you have seen those changes around. And what do you think will happen in next 5 years? I'm considering the changes that have been happening gradually over the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I see now a lot more women not only actively participating in the workforce but also taking up leadership positions. I see this not only in my organization but also in my client organization, which is an automotive, a luxury European automaker, and which has, as you
Mhm,
rightly said, traditionally been more of a male-dominated industry. Um,
mhm.
and in terms of what is likely to happen 5-10 years down the line, I think overall there is a growing awareness around diversity and inclusion, right? So we see not
Correct.
only women, but everyone on the gender spectrum being given more opportunities to work. Already, we are seeing that deserving women are shattering all kinds of glass ceilings and taking on leadership roles, be it Mary Barra in the auto industry or many of our Indian lady CXOs in the banking sector, BFSI sector. And I also see a lot of VCs supporting female founders. So I feel a lot of hope
Mhm.
for women entrepreneurs as well, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, I'm very, very optimistic about what the future looks like.
Great. That's wonderful. My next question is for Reena, basically. Since Reena has an extensive experience of more than 15 years, Reena, what has been success for you? Like, what is it that defines the word success? Because each one of us could have a different perspective what success means to us. What is it that it means for you? What does it hold for you?
So personally, I would say what I believe in is success is when an individual wants to achieve something and that you are happy in that space, because
Okay.
it keeps changing, right? So the thing is, at one
Correct.
point of time in my career, I would have thought that okay, the day I become a DGM, I have attained success, and then when you achieve that, then the next is that it keeps moving. The other thing is about what are you enjoying what you do, because it's not just about designations, it is about your inner passion that I enjoy doing things that are in AI automation or analytics stuff, or interior designing for that matter. So it's about success is about enjoying what you do and feeling peaceful in that space.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, coming back to enjoying what you do, I would like to ask Samina, especially when I know that Accenture is an equal opportunity employer. What is the biggest challenge women in general faces at the in the organization? And I'm not referring to any particular organization here, but in general, when you talk to your friends, family, what is it that stands out? What are the challenges that women face at organization level?
Okay. Am I audible? I'm
Yes.
sorry, I had to take this one from my cell phone. I'm not able to log in.
Yes, yes, you
So
are.
yeah, very good question, I must say. And uh, this question keeps on evolving. But there are certain roots to it when I talk about, what the women especially face challenges when they step out of their homes. Okay. Because as
Correct.
you know that women are very good as caretakers, and they have nobody can match up with the kind of energy and passion they provide at home, right? But when it comes to the women, when they step out and when they look at people around them, the kind of progressive nature which they have around them, somewhere I feel that the women are not being, you can say, structured in a proper manner, or
Hmm.
women are being misinterpreted in terms of, especially when I talk about technology. It's always, there is a unconscious, or there are some conscious biasness as well towards it, that the women may not be tech savvy. But at the
Hmm.
same time, when I look at it from the kind of progress, and we have Nia also on this call, right? The kind of progress so far women have made it, they have actually killed a lot of biases around it. If I talk about the most grieving challenges which we see, is that gender pay parity, because this is something which I have still seen, that various organizations are still trying to look into this particular matter, because the way money motivates men, it's been observed that there is a gender gap in terms of pay. So we need to kind of definitely look at that, and that only happens when you have built up some strong skills, and you can talk about your skills and get yourself self appropriately paid, right? So that gap needs to be managed. The other thing I would say, that sexual harassment. Now, sexual harassment does not mean that it needs to be completely abusive nature, but there are small little things which kind of women should voice it out. They need to show that they're not comfortable with it, because at the end of the day, they don't speak up and they leave their jobs. They don't address the concern and they leave their jobs, because they find that that's the right thing to do at that particular moment. So it amazed me when the Me Too movement started, that there were so many verbal and physical and abusive kind of stories which had come out. But why were we waiting for that Me Too movement, right? So we should, and it's not about men would solve this challenge for us. It's we who women needs to kind of come out and talk about it and address it. And there are wonderful organizations with wonderful policies around it. There are actions around it. It's just that if you don't come across and you don't talk about it, then who's going to talk for you, right? So that's another thing. The other thing is, which I feel, is that as soon as the woman becomes the boss, okay, and the stats also shows that till today, only 25% of the people would like to work with a female boss. So there is a kind of, again, assumption about women. When they become boss, they take strong actions, strong decisions, they come across more confident, and that's where they are being termed as that they need to take care, they don't need to take charge. So that's one of the unconscious biasness or the conscious biasness which is prevailing. So we, as women, when we come across as bosses as well, we need to take that stand. We need to, be very skilled in terms of, leading teams. We cannot, just because we are belong to a particular gender, we require that leadership, tag around us. But what we can impress our people is through our skill, through our talent, the kind of support we will provide to our team members, right? And automatically they will start looking up to you. But at the same time, I would say that women are very emotionally intelligent. They're very collaborative at nature, and they can work with diverse cultures, diverse teams. So there is a lot of upper hand for the women to kind of overcome these challenges as well. And when I also was growing, there were a lot of assumptions made around me because I had a child and all of that, right? So it's about you. You should go and talk about it, that how prepared you are, how ready you are. And I'm sure that these challenges will, with the over the time, with the technology, with the kind of visibility the women leadership is getting, the women at the lower levels getting, I'm sure we will be able to overcome these challenges.
Yeah, you said it right. In fact, during this pandemic, we have set excellent examples of those incredible multitaskers managing our home, our office, the cooking part, because there were no maids or any kind of house help at hand. And then I think we have crashed all the ceilings that we are talking about here, because of course I can't deny or argue the role of men, what is they have played in kind of taking us through that entire difficult and challenging times. But I think women have reached a top notch level of multitasking and showing the best of their abilities in handling it emotionally, physically. And I think we don't really need to vouch for each other, because everyone has kind of done everything around to help each other, right? So coming back to this, my next question is to Neha, that what effect of technology do you think have had on our lives as women, to make it better for us? Or do you believe that technology has played any role, or it hasn't played any role, or we have not been able to exploit it to an extent we should have, to make our lives a little bit easy? When I ask this question, I totally mean, from our multitasking qualities, perspective. So how do you think technology has helped us being better multitasker, or doing roles which are much better way, handling our roles in much better way?
Mhm. Okay, so just like anything, I think technology has its pros and cons. But if you ask me, by and large, I think it has leveled the playing field and helped everyone, not just women, but everyone to find their voice and express themselves. If you ask me, I think one of the early examples that I can recall from my own life is using videos and demos to teach underprivileged schoolgirls at one of the non-profits that I did a stint at. And even now, I help students in the hinterlands of India to be digitally literate and be able to participate in the new age workforce, right, using technology. And that is, I would say, just the bare minimum on the professional front. Again, if you talk of where I have come in my career, so now thanks to technology, I'm able to participate in all of the important projects and activities at work practically any time of the day, without getting into this question of a night shift at the factory, which could be potentially unsafe, right? So for me, this is the kind of blessing that technology has been. On a on a personal front, yeah, I use technology for various things like fitness tracking, blogging, sharing my location with trusted users when I need to go out alone or at night, etc. So you're right. In many ways, I think it has helped us women to be more successful, more participative on a both professional and personal front. And I'm sure Samina and Reena would also have their own point of view to add here.
Yeah, Reena, do you have anything to add here? I mean, do you rely on technology to sail you through your days, or you said, "Hey, I have two hands and I'll manage on my own"?
No, no, no. I think technology definitely has, helped us in today's day and age. It helps us to stay connected with managing both, family as well as professionally. The whole fact of this work from home, right? The pandemic came through, and everyone just seamlessly started operating from home is purely because of technology and the capabilities that are there that allow us now to work securely in a home environment.
Correct. Yeah. So,
Just to
one
add to that, Sumita, just to add to that, let me just emphasize that this technology is helping me to navigate through the routes of Mumbai. So definitely it helped women in driving for sure.
we are those women who just can't cope up with our love for the roads. So, yeah. All right. So, Samina, my next question was for you basically. So, women today have achieved so much, right? I mean, while doing or fulfilling the roles that we are supposed to do, and there's no replacement for them, like a mother or like a sister, a daughter, a wife. So, apart from playing these roles, and while playing these roles, what are the resources do you think are required to, keep us top notch, always on our feet? Or what is it that you feel is important for us to kind of anything else to learn? So, any personal resources that you feel are required to help us do these roles in a little better way or little managed way?
Sure. So I would talk about my own journey, right? The kind of resources I had, utilized or they were available for me. Yes, initially and especially to the young crowd, I would say that, we would not know that even a person's advice is a resource for you, right? Which person you need to reach out, what sort of networking you need to do. You need to have people who are very strategic in their network, people from industry, people who could be, help you as a friend in difficult times. There are people who play a very important role. I know that I'm one person who learns from observations, but at the same time, not necessary that everybody learns from observations. So observation itself also can be a resource for you. If you are very keen in understanding and observing what's happening around you, you will reach out to the right resource. For me, Google has worked a lot, and because when I got into automotive industry, from almost, for 8 years, was doing banking and then moved to automotive industry. What resources really helped me is definitely Google, because over there I would take all those classes, all those videos, all those directions in terms of how this automotive industry works, how it's evolving, what's happening around this industry, and to an extent of getting I would say technical information in terms of how each and every part fails and how it's been diagnosed and how it's been repaired, and all of these information I have utilized to today design solutions for our new automotive clients, right? So definitely there is internet which you will help you. There are people in your life who would help you, and I always remember one of our a very strong leader, our managing director, keeps on talking that you should have your personal board of directors. So those personal board of directors are going to guide you through, and they will be very neutral to you as well. They would not be judgmental at all. Moreover, I have a mindset of always doing research on the topics which I want to explore. So keep researching, do keep on doing R&Ds, utilize, industry specific people. Networking, I would say, is the biggest resource, because when you have different, sectors different industries, different people with different industry knowledge. You should network with those people who will involve you in panels, in workshops, in sessions. They will give the personal guidance if needed. So there are really people who are, as consultant available around you. It's just that you need to understand that you just need not say hi to everybody, but have a very strategic resource or a networking group which will help you grow in what you're doing today. Yeah.
Yeah. Coming back to that, what you just said, I'd like to ask Reena that, in your capacity as a senior leader at the organization, I'm sure you must be meeting a lot of young talent, right? For interviews, for workshops, for events, for talks. So what really impresses you when you see a young girl walking to you and talking to you, or while interviewing somebody who is, just starting out in her, career? What is it that really impresses you?
So I would say the first thing that really gets to me or impresses is the person's attitude. I believe that very strongly, even with my team, with people around me, because a skill can be developed. Attitude cannot be inculcated. It is what you automatically portray. So one is the attitude. The other thing is that I need to see that passion in that person. The person should be talking about whatever they are talking about with that complete feeling of, yes, this is what I enjoy doing, this is what I want to do, and it should not be scripted as such. So these are, definitely something that I kind of look at. And the last thing is the ideation, right? Coming out with ideas, speaking about things that are out of the box, especially during interviews or even during networking, right? We tend to talk a lot of the general things, okay, what have you done, what have you, but the moment the conversation go beyond about something that is, off the well-walked path, as one would say, that is what then get interesting about talking about things that inspire you, motivate you. So I would say attitude, ideation, passion.
Yeah, that those are really three qualities that any leader could look out for in any talent that gets on board, right? So coming back to Neha, since I keep saying this, and I feel very proud to say this, that that you are a young leader, a young professional, because it's really incredible to know somebody who have achieved so much at such a young age. So, what was your first win in life? Your professional, your personal, anything that you are very very proud of, or something you didn't expect, but obviously you were overwhelmed to receive. So, any such incident, any such achievements or wins so far? Neha, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, to be very honest, Meeta, it's a little difficult to think of the one thing that overwhelmed me, or was like a defining moment. I think, at least for me, it's been a series of wins, a series of defining moments, and right from maybe I keep going back to my school days, but I think having the confidence to go up on stage and put forth my opinions boldly from that young age actually gave me the foundation to be where I am, even as I was taking baby steps in my career later on. In my job right now, I make it a point to keep a record of all the small or big wins that I have, be it launching and scaling up a new initiative all by my own in the department, or leading a completely remote team during the peak of the pandemic to conceptualize and create an AI based solution. So I think, for me and probably for all of us as women, stacking up these wins so that when we look back, we get that extra boost of confidence and motivation is what is important.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So on this, I'm going to ask you another question, Neha. So, what is one thing now about women and work you wish you had known earlier? So, is there something you feel that I wish I knew it earlier, or I wish I was acclaimed to this idea earlier, that it would have made a lot of difference? So, is there any such thing?
Yeah, I mean, so this hasn't happened to me personally, but like Samina says, I also try to read and do a lot of research, and I read once somewhere that women in general either volunteer or they are asked as a first choice to do activities in their professional workspace that are typically labeled housework or busy work activities. Um, such as tidying up the meeting room after a brainstorming session or scheduling calls all the time. Um, these are the tasks that no one seems to want to do with no direct impact or outcome, as it is stated on their job description. And I also read about how women can, if they face such challenges, tackle these. So now I know that, for example, it's okay to say no. If you cannot always say no, then a woman can insist on sharing up such responsibilities by rotation between different members of the team. Or at the very least, she should make sure that these efforts are acknowledged and appreciated, and that actually becomes a stepping stone for her to take on higher and better responsibilities. So
Yeah,
this is something that has come out of my reading rather than a personal experience.
that's nice. Samina, you have anything to say on this?
No, very well called out. In fact, that's very true. I'm not sure that why many of us choose tasks which are more of a clerical and administrative in nature. One, I think so, they forget to believe in themselves. Two is that maybe the person whom they are reporting to are not able to see that the kind of talent they possess. But then eventually, again, I own my career, I own my growth. So it's up to us to kind of, show up that we can do much more than just the administrative work.
Yeah, thank you. So I think on that note, on such a positive note, we are going to end this segment, the panel discussion, and will move to taking questions from the audience. I'm sure audience has a lot of interesting questions. So just to give you a little background, we connected with few audience and we asked them if they would be eager to ask, and a lot of them actually wholeheartedly reached out to us saying, can I ask a question to any of your panels, because they come with such great background. And we actually chose handful of audience to ask those questions because their questions are really, really interesting. And I'd start with Vidisha first. Vidisha, can I get a up hand from you? Are you there somewhere? I can't see all of you all.
Hi.
Okay, so Vidisha, you'd like to, you said you are eager to ask a question. So go ahead. What would you like to ask?
Yeah. So hi, I'm Vidisha, and I have just started interning here with the design team. So I would like to ask a question to Reena ma'am. Yeah. So I wanted to ask, how did your earlier career choices lead you to where you are right now?
Very interesting question, and you will not believe where I started off and where I've ended up. So my dream aspiration was to be an interior designer, and I just didn't get through to doing that. And so I was actually feeling very dejected, disappointed, going through that phase. I just out of college, trying to do something which is not working out. And my mom, she kind of spoke to a friend of hers who was working in the airline industry, and uh, she said that why doesn't Lena come and spend some time with me and work with me. And that was my first job with Singapore Airlines as a trainee. And that was like a stepping stone into the airline industry where I spent 6 years. And after that, 9/11 happened, and the entire airline industry went through a totally different phase where airlines were not flying as much and things like that. And then I realized that okay, I need to probably explore something else until the airlines get back into track. So the thought was always, okay, I'll go back there because I really love what I do. And then when I got into the BPO BPS sector, I started enjoying what I was doing, and I kept. It's been 15 years since then, or more than 18. It's about 18 years since then, and I am still in in the corporate world. So I started really enjoying, and I really felt that I wanted to achieve more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do something different, and that's where life takes you. Sometimes I feel and I believe that if something is not working out, it is meant for you to do something else, which you will definitely be happy at the end of the day. It may not feel like that when you're going through it, but so that to answer your question, yes, I thought something, and I am here at a different place
That's
with
great.
no regret.
Vidisha, did that answer you well? I mean, are you happy with Reena's answer, or you want to grill her ahead more?
No, no, yes. I like the answer. Yeah. So thank you. And it was
Yeah,
wonderful hearing you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
great. So we have a very young participant in the audience today, and his name is Akshat. Akshat, can you give me a heads on if
Yeah.
you're around?
Hi.
Okay, cool. So what questions do you have, Akshat?
So I have a question for Miss Samina Cooper. Uh,
Okay.
you said that your advices are resources. So what? Uh, and I've heard that mistakes are the best way to learn. So what career mistakes have you made that would help us, move ahead?
Very good question. Yeah, sure. I would love to take this one. So I would relate to 2004 when I started my career. Okay. What I always believed is that my numbers would speak for me. And I was, performing well. My targets were overachieved. My quality scores were up and high. And I was of an opinion that, everybody knows me, what I want in my career, in my life, right? There were some opportunities. There were 5 opportunities for growth, and I couldn't get even one of them. Okay, though I applied, I wanted to become a team leader, and I didn't get through it. And that's where we always should, consider that mistakes always helps you to understand what are the different approaches you need to take. Right, mistakes is equal to experience which you have gathered throughout that failure. So something which I sat back and I tried to understand that I being a top performer, I doing everything to the perfect, why I was not being considered to the team lead role when there was not just one opportunity, there were 5 opportunities. Okay, and I couldn't get one of them. And that's where I went to seek feedback. And the kind of feedback which I got was that they thought that I may be just an individual contributor. I may not take the pressure of the targets of the team. I may not be a good people manager, client management. I'm not good at all of these things. Whereas I try to look back and I try to understand that these all are my topmost, you can say, strengths. And I fail to brand myself. That's what I learned out of it. That I never shared my aspirations with my team lead, that what I want to be one, right? So therefore, I always come back to the same point that your career is in your hand. So that mistake made me realize that just not the numbers are going to speak for you, but you need to brand yourself. You need to talk about your aspirations, that what you want to be. You need to showcase that, how good you would be at your people management skills, how you're going to maintain the pressure around the targets, which keeps on evolving in a BPO industry. And you can't believe it, I've just understood that what all things I need to do. And over, I think so, 3 to 4 months down the line, I was able to speak one level up. I was able to dress one level up. I was able to perform one level up. And all of these things kind of created a brand and an image and a visibility for me that I am ready for the next level. At the same time, I kept on talking about my aspirations, my growth aspirations with my team lead, with my management. I tried to grab the opportunities which could not just limit me till my team leader, but also to the entire management. I would get into some kind of workshops. I would play some sort of role out there to showcase my talent. And eventually, after some 6 months down the line, I got promoted to a team lead. So yes, mistakes definitely give you other approaches to look into it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes,
Akshat,
thank
did
you.
that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, Akshat. We have another young professional in our audience, and I know her very well. And she has one very interesting question for I don't know. So let's call upon Isha. Are you there in the audience?
Yeah.
Isha, can you hear me? Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone. Say to all the leading ladies here. It was so inspiring to listen to all of you, by the way. My question would be for Neha. So I am an algo trader right now, and I have been a headhunter in the past. I've been a working professional throughout my life till now. My question for you is, sometimes when uh, we are working on something, a profile, a role, sometimes a kind of boredom, comes in. It sets in when you're doing the same thing every day. How do you, Neha, kind of avoid the complacent that comes in the role, the work that you have been doing every day? How to avoid that, or how to work on it, or how to keep going still in spite of the boredom?
Sure. Thanks, Isha. Great question, and I'll try to answer that. So I think the first thing is the mindset, right? I like to think of not just the immediate role, but my entire career as a portfolio. And I also like to think that I'm a bit of a generalist. So what do I mean by that? This means I try to build new skills every few years and then keep connecting the dots between what I know and what I have learned in the past, so that I become very competent at the intersection of certain A, B, X, Y skills. To share a few examples, I did one stint in the legal department of a company that has, after all these years, helped me in my job right now to define a new set of customer contracts for a totally different sector. And my experience in business development and as an industry SME, right, these are all different roles I played in the same company, have helped me to bag the role which I hold today of a leader who offers creative solutions to the customer. So clearly, while upskilling, cross skilling, these are necessary, but it shouldn't be just in terms of certificates or courses. I think exploring a range of options in terms of experiences is an absolute must to not just survive, but to grow professionally today. And that is my mantra, to not get bored in the role and keep challenging myself for newer and better things. So I hope that answered your question, Isha.
That surely did. Thank you, Neha. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Isha, for such an interesting question. We'll move on to the next question now. Do we have Nyaneshwari in the audience? Nyaneshwari, can you give me a heads up if you're there?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So you had to ask something to one of the speaker. Go ahead, please.
Yes, so good evening to all. So I'm Nanishwari and I'm currently doing BBA at SSM College in Goa. So now this is my final year and soon I will be entering the corporate world. So I have a question, actually I have two questions specifically for Ma'am Reena. So I would like to know, like, what is the best career advice you have received in your life, and also for someone like me, what would be a piece of practical advice that you would like to give? Yeah.
So great to know that you are, studying and you're studying in Goa, and I'm assuming that you're away from family.
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, you're from okay. So
Yes.
my advice, first of all, would be that focus on what you're doing. Absorb. This is the opportunity for you to absorb all that knowledge, because along the way you're going to you will have to kind of implement it, or use it in different phases of your life. The other thing is to believe in yourself. I think as youngsters, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We keep feeling that, I have to do this, I have to achieve this, I have to be the best. And when you come to the phase that I am in, in your life and in your career, you start feeling that, maybe I was just too hard on myself. I didn't need to be so hard. So one thing is that focus on whatever you are studying. Keep reinventing yourself. So it's very important to keep in touch with whatever is the latest, so that you don't get redundant, or even for that matter, your competition reduces the moment you start upskilling yourself. You create more skills that you are interested in. Uh, Believe in yourself, and know that you can do it. Whatever you want to achieve, you have to have that belief that you can definitely go out and achieve it. And there are so I'm a huge fan of quotes, and I keep following a lot of leaders who write quotes, and one of my favorite is Maya Angelou, and she always says is that don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. And if you've seen this movie, Happiness is right, Perfect Happiness, I think. Will Smith and the little boy. So he says that don't let anyone
Pursuit
tell.
of happiness.
Yes, In Pursuit of Happiness. Thank you so much. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
Will Smith tells his son that don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do something, and if they do, go ahead and do it and show it that you can do it. So that's my advice to you. Is that at this stage of your career, believe that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to, and focus on whatever you're
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Naneshwari, for joining us all the way from Goa. And the next one would be from one of our internal, very young HR person, Vinaya. Vinaya had something to ask. Go ahead, Vinaya.
Hello, hi. So, hi, my name is Vinaya and I'm from HR team. So, my question is specifically for Samina. So, it's just a normal, simple question. So, just wanted to ask, like, what's your vision and what's your goal in your life?
Okay. So that will be a quick one because I believe that I need to be limitless and be a better version of myself every day. So if I look at after a month that I have not learned anything, or I did not see that I've improved from the previous month, that's where something I start looking up to. That there is something new I definitely need to learn. uh, I have done my life. I'm a life coach, a certified life coach, and the only reason I have gone through a proper certification because I definitely love to impact lives, and especially when I was young and I was growing, I hardly had, or I never understood the funda of this networking, or having board of directors. All of these things wasn't being aware to me. So I love to create that awareness, especially for the youth. I kind of want to make them believe in the possibilities and themselves, and that's sure just by talking to them, counseling them, sharing some time with them, that gets them to understand what they're supposed to do. So definitely I would love, as I already mentioned, that I would love to give back to the ecosystem. And yeah, you should also always try to be limitless. Don't have any limits around you. You're unique and you can do anything if you determine to do that with passion.
Awesome. That was really seriously inspiring for all of us, I'm sure. Vinaya,
Thank you.
did that help you in any way?
Yes, definitely.
Cool. So we'll take a couple of only couple of more questions, and they are both from our internal staff. So I'd call upon Meenal. She had one question. So Meenal, are you there in the audience? Can you take this up?
Yeah, this is here.
Go ahead.
So hi everyone, this is Meenal and I'm in the front end team and I work for the React JS team. So my question is for you, Neha, because be it life or be it career, I'm sure we all have some or the other hurdles, barriers, or some or the other point wherein you just feel like giving up. So can you share something or maybe one bit of your life wherein you took a very big risk in your life?
So, Meenal, thanks. That's an easy one. I think the biggest risk I've taken is joining a digital technology company without any relevant prior work experience or even a degree in the same field. To be honest. and I was naturally a little apprehensive when I took up this job, but one thing that MBA has taught me is to learn anything very quickly and to adapt fast. So I was able to apply my managerial skills and also pick up the basics of technology along the way as I moved from role to role in Capgemini. And along with that, one thing I also worked on was something that Samina highlighted, which is developing your professional network as a supportive peer group, and that has also stood by me very well in all these times. So like Reena, I started off somewhere else and have ended up in a different place, but I think this is one risk that really paid off well for me.
Thank you, Neha, sharing this, because I understand it's not easy to accept in front of so many people about your risk or something which you have achieved going through the hardship. So thank you for your response.
Thanks.
And thank you to Meenal for asking such an interesting question. And that brings us to the last question of the evening from the audience. And we have a very young designer at Apptware, and she's very bubbly, and she designs all the creatives that goes on her social website. And so, Utkarsha, I can see you there smiling. So, do you want to ask the question?
Yes. Hi everyone, my name is Utkarsha. I've begun my career endeavors in design, and first of all, I'm very grateful to be a part of this great event. So, my question goes to Neha. Now that you are so successful and at a great position in your career, so have you drawn professional inspiration from other women? So, can you tell us about someone who inspired you?
Sure. Again, great question, Utkarsha. Um, the first person, of course, in my personal life who inspired me and continues to inspire me is my mother. I think she has been very instrumental in my success because she was the one who, from a very young age, encouraged me to speak out in front of others and put forth my opinions. On a professional front, to be honest, I am very privileged to have a boss who is more like my mentor. So she is the one who has, by example, showed me how to get a seat at the table by showing proof of my work, by sharing my track record with pride, and also showing the willingness to collaborate and make the team succeed along with you. She has always encouraged me to put my hand up for even informal roles where you can have leverage or can lead a team and make an impact. So these are two examples that really come to me at the top of my mind right now. Of course, along the way there have been many other female leaders and champions whom I have met, and all of them had something very inspiring to share with me. And I think that is what helps me to sort of inspires me to pay it forward now, in a way.
Great, Utkarsha. I'm sure this is going to
Yes,
help you in your career as well.
yes, definitely it will.
Cool. So such inspiring stories, women, and such great questions from the audience. Thank you everyone for taking time to think through about this and coming back with such interesting questions that everybody would have somewhere on our minds to ask to these incredible women achievers. Everybody has some packing of some great women behind them to kind of help them be where they are. And Harish very passionately talks about his mother and which has helped him to be where he is. He's one of the youngest entrepreneur in Pune today and leading Apptware. And we're not very great. If I could take 2 minutes, we are around 125 plus strong team at this point of time. But I think the kind of work that we have done over last 3 years of our existence, or the kind of products that we have delivered, the kind of solutions that we have implemented so far have been really phenomenal. We have our own AI studio, in-house AI studio. We have our own design studio. We have our own development entire setup end to end. And I think we have a lot of women
Our
who is
product
lead.
yeah, even our product is leading by Dipali and Santwana, who are also taking care of the entire product studio. And for design, Dipash is there, who is leading the entire thing. Then our HR team. So yeah, so many. I think women's are helping us. From the tech front, definitely, it was definitely a treat to hear about how you have like you are participating in mostly like AI and automation industry, right? So without having any kind of a technical background, so which was also one of the, I think, really good story to hear and yeah, it's great to listen you guys.
Yeah. Cool. So thank you, Harish. Thanks for a short and sweet address. Can we move on to Deepashri now for the final vote of thanks for the evening? Deepashri, are you there?
Yes,
By
I'm
the
here.
way, I'll take 1 minute to introduce Deepashri. Now, Deepashri is the brains behind the entire Women's Day creative that has gone on our media. Everything right from the post that you've seen, and she's the brains behind our design. So she leads our design studio, and her design capabilities are phenomenal. So yeah, so I chose the best person and I saved her for the last. So yeah, Deepashri, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Meeta. You made my day, or I would say evening. And actually, my evening started off a very great start. I got to listen to all phenomenal ladies which are here, the panel. I would like to say that today was a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm pretty sure that everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. Breaking the glass ceiling and pushing for greater goals is a huge desire for many women. And none of this comes easily. I think everybody agrees with this. There's a lot of smart work, hard work involved in this, a lot of sacrifices which you had to make probably by reaching towards your goal, and of course a can do attitude. It's the ideal balance of all those things that allows you to get where you want to go. So and I completely agree with Neha, Reena, and Samina's views today. We actually all have it inside us, and we must make the right decision to follow the correct path. And not only that, but we must give everything we have to ensure we get there where we want to be. The importance of goal setting as well as the ambition and desire to achieve those goals cannot be overstated. So, and now that our event is nearly over, I would like to convey my thanks to our excellent speakers today, Reena, Samina, Neha. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules and grace us with not just your presence, but also the lessons we have learned today. I hope that each of us takes something with us that is truly positive, inspirational, and will have a significant beneficial impact on our future journey. So, thank you very much for your valuable thoughts and inputs. Uh, Reena, Samina, Neha, and for showing us that determination and sustained efforts really mean. We also can't express our gratitude enough to such a receptive audience for their insightful questions and engagement. I really appreciate, and actually, some of the questions our audience asked, I wanted to ask, but that those get overlapped. So that was really great. We really appreciate you guys take out time and joined us. Of course. Not the least, actually, special thanks to Harish, our CEO, who is committed to equality and eliminating bias, and who inspired us to organize such an exciting event. We would like to express our gratitude to our design and marketing team. Of course, the design team, the design which you saw, it was not only me but my design team who supported. Marketing team, of course, for creating enough buzz to make the unforgettable gathering. Thank you, everyone, for contributing to making this event a success and a living, lasting impression, and actually inspiring us to come with a great idea next year as well.
Thank you, guys. If this was a physical event, then we would open the stage today for refreshments and teas and coffees and everything that follows. But
Yes.
we have some limitations. I blocked your time, your tea time, your coffee time. So please go enjoy yourself. Happy Women's Day to all wonderful women and all the men who inspire women to be a better version of themselves. So
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
should not
Enjoy.
forget them, actually.
Yeah. They are
True.
not to be forgotten anyways.
No, kudos to you, Meeta, and thanks, Harish and Deepashri, and I know the entire team, the whole machinery behind making this event successful. So thanks a lot for inviting us here today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Neha.
I think Samina articulated it so well that I don't think I can add anything to it. But really, really brilliant. Especially Nita, I have to say your energy is infectious, and your ability to manage the situation. And I'm sure there is a entire force behind that. But thank you for inviting us and the opportunity for us to interact and meet so many more people.
True. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Pamper yourself. Enjoy
Thank
the rest of
you.
the
Thank
evening.
you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.